How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Repti-verse. So, I know we're in a little bit of a different area. Sound and lighting is not as good in here, but we can't film this video in the reptile room because we have an unboxing to do. So, can't film this in the reptile room, obviously, because quarantine, don't want to open these animals up when they're in the same room as all my other animals until they've been quarantined for at least 30 days, although I normally do a 90-day quarantine. I also have a glove just in case these guys are really bitey, and I have a hook. I don't know that they will be. They're cold. They've been transporting overnight, and where I am is kind of cold outside. So we're gonna pop right into this box. Very excited. And these are actually a species that I've been wanting to get for a long time. I just haven't had a chance to. There we go. And these are a pair for a breeding project. At least I believe that. I'm getting a pair, that's why I requested. And they said that they'd make a note of that. Man, unboxing new reptile days. It's better than Christmas. Alright. Got 2 snake bags. There actually was not a heat pack. It's a little bit odd. Snake bags are the bane of my existence and a lot of other people. Hello? You can see in there. He is definitely alive. Oh, they wrote on it, so this is the female, and the male is going to be in here. As with... Don't you strike at me. She's doing the not tongue flicking at all thing, where she's looking right out of the bag at me and not making any tongue flicks, so... Just tells me that she is a little bit nervous. But that's all right. I'm probably cutting a lot of this out, but she's actually sitting upright in the perfect position for me because I'm able to look under her chin and don't see any mites, which is good. Hello? Yeah, she's giving me really long tongue flicks, which is also sometimes a sign that they might be a little bit nervous, so... We'll definitely also get a better look at them when they're in their quarantine setups. So, and obviously don't really want to handle them because I want them to feel comfortable, but she is alive and doing good. Also, we aren't going to put these guys directly back into their enclosures until they've been here for a little while, like at least an hour or two, so that they can warm up to room temperature. So I'm just gonna set her back in the box. And then make sure this guy's doing all right. The bag hissed at me. But you can see him down there. He is much darker than the female was. Oh, probably don't need an open knife on the table. That's probably a hazard. He is a very dark male. He's gorgeous. I love these snakes so much. So these are Candoria carnata. I believe that's how you pronounce their scientific name. I'll put it on the screen here. Solomon Island ground boas. So these are an old world species of boa, which is always really cool because typically boas are the new world, meaning the North and South America, and pythons are old world, meaning Africa, Asia, Australia, places like that. But these guys are actually found in the Solomon Islands, which is a range of, I think it's something like 992 islands, a little bit east of New Guinea. So unique. Well, when we take them out in a little bit, try and get you a good shot of their heads, because they have very narrow heads, like a viper, and that's one of their defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms is to look like death adders or other small viper species. I believe that's called Batesian mimicry, but they show the cryptic coloration, so they blend in with the leaves, and Batesian mimicry, so that they look like predators. Or they are predators, so they look like a much more dangerous species than they are, so that other animals leave them alone. There are 3 species of Candoria, I believe. Oh, there's also some subspecies of, like, say, ground boas, because I know San Isabel Island ground boas, I believe that's the largest island in the Solomon chain. The San Isabel are their own subspecies. I believe I'm remembering that correctly. But so you'll find a few species in the pet trade, specifically on the Underground Reptiles website, which is where I got these guys from. I know Underground Reptiles has some controversy. I've ordered from them in the past. Friends have ordered from them in the past. I've had no issues with them whatsoever. I like the animals that they provide. I find they're typically always in fantastic health, and I have never had an issue. So I'm going to keep using them. I think the biggest thing is wild-caught animals. These 2 guys are wild-caught, by the way, or field-collected. So we are going to get them to the vet after a week or 2 so they can calm down and get some meals. And after that, they'll be taken to the vet, tested for parasites. These guys typically eat lizards and frogs in the wild, so they can be picky eaters. And a lot of lizards and frogs do contain parasites. So if they do have parasites, we're going to get them tested, get them treated for it, so they're good to go. And I'm hoping that maybe next year this pair will be ready to go. I'm planning on mainly specializing in Candoria as far as breeding projects go. You guys know I want to breed retics, and I want to breed anacondas and tegus and things like that. But these guys are kind of they're my favorite species of snake. Apart from yellow anacondas, which are just amazing. But the Candoria have 2 of the coolest boa species in the world, in my opinion. They have the viper boas, which are just incredible, and they have the Solomon Island tree boas. And now these are ground boas, so they're neither of those. I love these guys too. But I'm hoping to get some tree boas in a couple of weeks, maybe. Same with viper boas, because we're going to have a pretty good size breeding population of them. I'm working on getting a stack of enclosures actually upstairs out of the reptile room, so these guys might never end up in the reptile room. But we're going to be building 2x2x2 enclosures, basically floor to ceiling, in my office/bedroom area. And we'll have these Solomon Island ground boas, of course, viper boas, and tree boas. And these guys are actually a pretty small species of snake, especially as far as boas go. I mean, typically, more commonly in the reptile community, you'll see things like red-tailed boas, BCIs, BCCs. These guys are much smaller than those, because a BCC can get 6 to 8 feet pretty regularly. I think Brian Barczyk has like a 12-foot red-tailed boa, which is arguably a pretty insane size for a boa. That's not exactly common. And of course, the biggest boas in the world are anacondas, which are a species of boa. But these guys typically max out at 3 feet. Females can get larger, but it's not very common. Males, it sounds like, typically get in the range of about 18 inches to 3 feet. So that male is probably ready to go. He's probably ready to breed now. But that female probably want to get her to size just a little bit more, because these guys, females definitely do get a little bit bigger. But anyway, we're going to get these guys upstairs. I have quarantine bins set up, but like I said, we are not going to be putting them in there right away, because I want them to be able to acclimate pretty well. And Minerva is going to be going downstairs pretty soon. I am working on another bin enclosure that's a bioactive bin that I'm going to move the hognose snake into. It's a good sized bin. It just needs to be finished. And then moving some animals around downstairs to get them different enclosures, get them better enclosures. And this weekend, I'm hoping to go down to Home Depot and get some supplies so we can start building that new stack of enclosures that I'm talking about. But yeah, so definitely going to be featuring these guys a lot. I love these snakes, so we're going to be featuring them a ton. So definitely subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see that. Definitely more to come, and we're going to get these guys in quarantine so that you can get a better look at them. Okay, so this is the male of the two. See, he's really pretty. He's really dark. I have him on a hook right now because he just took a snap at me, so I want to be careful. Don't want to get bitten, obviously, but you can just see how beautiful that snake is. I think he has some urates on him because it smelled like urates in the bag and covered in white powder. So it's either urates or cocaine, and I don't think that these guys are cocaine addicts, though I could be wrong. This is the snake I think I've been the most excited to add to my collection. Female. Well, where did she go? I'll put the female in her enclosure, and she's already gone, which is a good thing. She has gone to hide. Now this guy, sure, it's also been a little bit since we unboxed these guys, so they've had time to get up to room temperature before adding them. Hey, Legolas. And oh my goodness. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous animal. Let me see if I can get him off the hook real quick. No, he did not like being touched, but just reach him over here, get him into his bin. This is much more of a naturalistic setup, clearly, than the other one is. Got lots of leaf litter for him to hide in. Got a hide over there that he'll fit in just fine. Oh, don't wrap up the hook, please. Come on. Alright, give me a second. I gotta get him off this hook. Yeah, as you can see, he is just in the perfect position to defend himself. So I'm just going to let him come off the hook on his own. Maybe manipulate him to where he can see the hide. So he'll go in there and calm down and acclimate. He's definitely much more nervous than the other one is. But that's all right. They've just been through a fairly stressful process of being shipped cross country. These guys came from South Florida, which is where a underground reptiles is, I think, or it might be West Palm Beach. I don't remember. But gonna let them be. Gonna let them acclimate. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video in any capacity, please click like if you haven't done so already. Highly consider subscribing to Repti-verse. New videos once a week. And I'll be sure to see you guys in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.